Alright, what's going on, fellow fixers? I'm Jeremy, and I'm a fixer, and today I've got to fix a video that I sent out a couple weeks ago. So if you remember, a few weeks ago I showed you how I hung this swing from the ceiling up here. Well, it failed, and it didn't fail from the ceiling. It failed from these nylon covered rope chain. I'm gonna fix that and put actual chains on here. If you watch that video, don't do it the way I did it. Swap it out, put actual chains in here, and the failure point is these little nuts right here. I tightened this side down as tight as I could get it with a wrench just to make sure that it wouldn't come undone, and I used two nuts on here, but yet it still failed. So alright, so here's the deal. Whenever this went down, thankfully nobody got hurt. There's just no way that I can trust these things moving forward, so I'm gonna put chains on it. But whenever it broke, you can see here my big old fat butt broke a couple of these boards. Now these boards were already rotted right here, and whenever I was painting it, I was going to go ahead and replace them, except they're an odd size, which means whoever made this probably took a 2x4 or a 2x6 and cut it down to the dimensions that they wanted and put these little, I don't know if you can see it there, put these little bevels on it. So I just decided when I was doing it, it felt solid enough, I wasn't going to replace it. But the issue now is that I have no choice. I've got to fix it. And if you watch the video where I got a table saw, a miter saw for way underpriced, I now have a table saw, so I can actually do these bevels and do these cuts that I need to. So if you haven't seen that, I'll link that below. And I'm going to pry these boards off, cut a couple boards, paint them, put some new ones on. And then I'm going to go ahead and hang chains from the ceiling so we can get rid of those doggone rope chains and put some actual solid chains up there. So let's get to it. The miters on these boards are set to 40 degrees. Alright, so here's a bonus tip on how to get your paintbrush super clean after you're done using it. Biggest thing you can do is when you're painting, don't get paint way up here towards the top. Dip it only, half the way top. So really you just need the tip of the paintbrush in the paint to actually get what you need. And essentially, this also only works with water-based paint. This isn't going to work with a oil-based paint where you're going to need mineral spirits to do it. Basically, I'm just going to get this thing wet, and here's the magic. Take your wire brush, get some dirt. In Florida it's easy because there's sand. Only go one direction away from the handle, and that wire brush and that dirt works as an abrasive to get in there and get all those little pieces of dried paint off. Rinse everything off every once in a while and keep going. There you go. Clean paintbrush. Because the chain is larger than this other piece, I had to put a additional attachment up here. The chain would not fit on this. This is too large. So I'm going to leave it hanging down so that I know where I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut this link off right here so that it will end up hanging at the same height. it's fixed, swapped out, put a chain on it, and I hope it's not gonna fall anymore. It shouldn't. It's solid now. If you haven't seen the video on how I hung all this and did all the work in the roof to support it, I'll link that over here. Go check out that video. And as always, get out there and fix something. I'll see you on the next video.